Good morning, students. So myself, Vijay Shankar from PC Department, Civil Engineering College. Today, we are going to discuss about the concepts in orthogonality. That is, orthogonality in vectors, orthogonality in signals, orthogonality in approximation signals, orthonormal signal, orthosignal space, and mean square error. These are all related to orthogonal concepts only. The first one, see here, the analog between the vectors and the signals. Orthogonality concept in vectors. Orthogonality concept in vectors. All the signals are basically a vectors. A vector can be represented in terms of the coordinates. A vector can be represented in terms of its coordinates. For example, consider the vector f is a hypotenuse showing that it is a f. There is another vector x, the x-axis adjacent side for this theta. The dot product of the vector f and x is given as the dot product of the vector f and x is given as, the dot product of anything, two signals or the two vectors is the magnitude of f, magnitude of x, and cos theta. Is a dot product formula here. If the theta is an angle between of f and x, theta is an angle between the f and x. In the above figure, the cx, see here the point is the cx is a component of vector f along the x. In other words, cx is the projection of f on x. So draw a perpendicular line on x-axis from the f point. Take it as a cx. Okay. Here f can be expressed as a vector addition as, see, the hypotenuse is equal to side plus side. The hypotenuse means f. One side is a e, another side is a cx. So f is equal to cx plus e. F is equal to cx plus e. Here there is an error vector. There is an error vector, means if having the angle is there for f and x, definitely there is an error vector is there, that is e. When I am taking the c1x and the c2x at different places, the f is equal to c1x plus e1 as a projection of the f on x, and c2x plus e2, the 2 points, even these two are not orthogonal to each other. There is an error of e1 and e2 will get. The next one, but e1 and e2 are greater than e, hence e is minimum only when it is perpendicular to x. When this e is minimum, either it is a cx or the c1x or c2x, the e error is minimum when the f and the x vectors are both perpendicular to each other. Minimum means c is equal to 0. When the error vector is a minimum means when the c is equal to 0. Got it? So E1 and E2 are the greater than E, C1 and C2 are greater than the E, hence E is minimum, C is minimum only when it is perpendicular to X. The component of F along X is a Cx. It is also given as a magnitude of F into cos theta. C into magnitude of X is equal to magnitude of cos theta. Simply it is not like that. You see the right angle triangle, we consider this one. The right angle triangle. In that right angle triangle, what is the cos theta is equal to? Cos theta is equal to adjacent side. What is adjacent side? Cx. Adjacent side by the hypotenuse. F is. Okay. And now the cross multiply, that is F cos theta is equal to C into X. F cos theta is equal to C into X. From this right angle triangle, we got the expression like that. Okay. So the Cx into F cos theta. Simply saying the cos theta is equal to Cx adjacent side and the hypotenuse. Taking the magnitude on both sides, it becomes of C magnitude of X is equal to magnitude of F into cos theta. So multiplying both sides by magnitude of X, C magnitude of X and magnitude of X becomes C magnitude of X square. That is equal to magnitude of F, magnitude of X cos theta. So in the right hand side, the magnitude of F and magnitude of X cos theta is the dot product of two vectors F and X. F dot X is equal. So C is equal to F dot X by X square. F dot of X by X square. The X square is not be cancelled. X will not be the cancelled since F dot of X and X dot of X are the vector effects. Actually, the denominator is the energy signal. The C is equal to F dot X by the X dot X, nothing but squared magnitude of X. In the figure 1.3.1 and 1.3.2, so the C1x will be 0 if F is perpendicular to X. C1x is there, C2x is there, and Cx also is there. That C1x will be 0. Whenever it becomes 0, then only the F is perpendicular to X. F and the X. Cx is equal to 0. Cx is equal to 0. There is no any other component on the X axis from the F. If this Cx is not the 0, then there is another vector is there, and is a draw a perpendicular line that is from the F to the X. Okay. In other words, F will not have component along the X. Okay. If there is no any other means, there is no any component along the X, and the F and X are perpendicular to each other. Under this situation, the theta is equal to 90 degrees. Theta is equal to 90 degrees. When the theta is 90 degrees, the F dot of X is equal to 0. Then the C becomes 0. The numerator is 0 by the magnitude of X square. Okay. Then the C is equal to 0. When C is equal to 0, F and X are the orthogonal or perpendicular to each other. Okay. The first concept of the orthogonality, orthogonal in vectors. Second concept, orthogonality in signals. Orthogonality in signals. The same, the two signals we can take as of F as f of t, is f of t signal. Previously we considered the x is the x vector. Now it is a signal, x of t signal. Having the angle is a theta is there. And draw a perpendicular line here. Perpendicular line on the x signal. Nothing but the error signal E of t. And this point you can consider as a C into x of t. Okay, the same as in the previous. But these are the signals, so f of t and E of t, C into x of t and x of t. With respect to the time, we are saying it is a signal. So according to the right angle triangle, hypotenuse one side, hypotenuse is equal to side plus side, E of t into Cx of t. So f of t is equal to C into x of t plus E of t. And error signal E of t is equal to f of t minus C into x of t. C into x of t. What it matters. Now, minimum value of E of t will give best approximation of f of t in x of t rather than the minimum value of E of t, the minimum energy of E of t or the mean square value of E of t serves as the approximation measure. Okay, if you are not understood, leave it this one. And simply we can say the error energy E is equal to integral T1 to T2 E square of t dt. It's a formula for the energy signal. Error energy E is equal to integral T1 to T2, or it is also can take as a minus infinite to infinite also. E square of t dt. And the mean square value is same E square of t whole bar. The energy signal with the divided of T2 minus T is E by T2 minus T1. That is a mean square error. Is another topic we have to derive in the next completion of the orthogonality of signals. So in this error signal, error energy signal E, substitute the error signal E of t. What is the E of t? We got f of t minus c into x of t. So f of t minus c into x of t whole square. Expand this a minus b whole square part and apply the derivative with respect to the c and equal to the 0 to get the error energy will be minimum. Okay, error energy will be minimum, obtaining the differentiating the dA with respect to the c, and it is also equating to the 0 value. So dE by dC is equal to 0. So apply the derivative of error energy signal with respect to the c and equate to the 0 to get error energy will be minimum. When this error energy is a minimum, means the f of t and the x of t is 90 degrees. There is no any component. Okay, there is no any component of f of t and the x of t. And d of t is a minimum. For that, you have to apply the derivative with respect to the c and equal to the 0 for error energy signal E. So d by d, the past theta expanding the a square minus b square. A square is f of t, f square of t dt, and b square is the c square x square of t dt, and minus 2ab 2c f of t x of t dt, and split all the integrals into 3 parts: a square minus 2ab plus b square and equal to the 0. Okay, and here the derivative is with respect to the c. See, the first integral having there is no any value of c, so it is a constant. The derivative of the constant becomes is a 0. The first part is a 0, and in the second part the c is there. With respect to the c, we are applying the derivative. We have only the integral t1 to t2 2 f of t x of t d is a minus also, plus in the third term the c square is there. We are applying the derivative with respect to the c. The c square is becomes a 2c. So 2c integral t1 to t2 x square of t dt is equal to 0. Okay. Now the first term is 0. Minus 2 integral t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt. The c becomes a 1 here, and c square applying the derivative will get the 2c. 2c into integral t1 to t2 x square of t dt is equal to 0. From this, bring the first part minus term is towards the right side, becomes a plus. C is equal to, here the c is there, write the c is equal to 2 into integral. The 2 is also get cancelled when it is bring the right hand. C is equal to integral t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt whole divided by integral t1 to t2 x square of t dt. This is the equation for the orthogonality of signals. The numerator only is a 0, then only the c is becomes a 0. And the c is becomes a 0, error signal is eliminated. There is no any component between f of t and the x of t. So observe that the equation is similar to the equation of 1.3.3, means in the vector. The same expression can be obtained for minimum value of e square of t. The denominator of the above equation represents the energy of the x of t. It cannot be 0. The denominator is energy signal. It cannot be 0. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed. So it is not at all equal to 0. C becomes a 0 means you have to take the numerator of the 0. When the two signals are orthogonal means either you can prove that integral t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt is equal to 0. Then the two signals f of t and the x of t both are perpendicular to each other or orthogonal. See here they are saying that hence the numerator must be 0 to make c 0. If the c is 0, there will be no component of f of t along x of t. What is that component? Error component. there is no any component of f of t along x of t when the c is 0. When the c is 0, the numerator must be 0. Okay. In the interval of t1 and t2. So for orthogonality in signals, the integral t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt is equal to 0. But it matters. This is a formula. Similarly, if f of t and x of t are complex signals, then they are orthogonal over an interval of t1 to t2. You can take either any one of the signal is a complex. F of t, x star of t, c and x star, r or r. You can take f signal, f of t signal is orthogonal. F star of t, x of t, dt is equal to 0. This is another concept orthogonality in complex signals. Only you can keep any one signal, either f or x. F star of t, x of t, dt is equal to 0, or f of t, x star of t, dt is equal to 0. See, the x star is a complex conjugate of x of t, f star is a complex conjugate of f of t. Okay. This is one of the example here. F of t is some value and x of t is some value. You can prove that f of t and x of t is 0. Then the given two signals are orthogonal. The given two signals are f of and x of t. So multiplying and split the two parts, 1 into root 3 into dt minus 1 into 2t is there. Here the 2t means 2 into root 3 into t. The first one, the root 3, the integral is integral dt minus 2 root 3 integral t into dt. T into dt. See here, what is the interval they given? 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Integral dt is a 1. So integral 0 to 1. Here root 3 is there. Root 3 is given dt minus 2 into root 3 integral 0 to 1 t into dt. This is the actual integral we have. Is equal. Integral dt, nothing but t on. Okay. So root 3 into t, upper limit is 1 and lower limit is 0. Upper limit is 1 and lower limit is 0. Minus 2 root 3 and t, integral of t is a t square by 2. The integral of t is a t square by 2. Now the t square by 2. And here also the upper limit is 1 and 0. 1 and 0. So after applying the upper limit here, root 3 into 1. So root 3 minus 2 root 3 into t square by 2. Upper limit is only the 1, the lower limit is 0. 1 square by 2 means nothing but 1 by 2. So 2 get cancelled. Root 3 minus root 3 is 0. So the given signal f of t is equal to 1 and x of t root 3 into 1 minus 2t, both are orthogonal. This is a way you can find out any example they given with some interval. What is the interval they given here? 0 to 1. In the 0 to 1 interval, the given signal f of t and the x of t both are orthogonal. How we can prove that it is a both are orthogonal means if I take the numerator in the orthogonality of signals concept, then only the c is a 0. There is never become the 0 of energy signal in the denominator. Only the numerator is a 0. But it matters. Then you go for the next concept. So another example here, by taking of a square wave, point 0 to pi, the magnitude is 1, and pi to 2 pi, the magnitude is minus 1, and show a square wave represent the signal by sine t, plot an error in this representation. You can find out this also. Okay. And here, see, the solution, let the square wave be the f of t, and the sine wave be the x of t is equal to sine t, then the approximation will be f of t is equal to c into x of t. C into x of t. Actually, the f of t is a signal. Okay, hypotenuse signal. Let it be, I will explain the diagram itself. If there is an error, the E of t signal here, the E of t. This is a C into x of t, because x of t is an x-axis. X of t is an x-axis signal, x of t. And this signal is a f of t signal. So hypotenuse f of t, and one side is a C into x of t, other side is the E of t. Approximately, actually, the f of t is equal to C into x of t, C into x of t plus E of t. So there is no any error, means the approximation value is f of t is equal to approximately C into x of t, C into x of t. Okay. If there is an error, is there? What is the minimum error? So approximation f of t is equal to C into x of t. That it is the saying f of t is equal to C into x of t. That x of t is given as a sine. So C into sine. Okay. To do that, the value of C, the formula is there, the orthogonality of signal, integral t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt, and the denominator is energy signal. And by taking the numerator, you can prove that it is a 0, the given signal is orthogonal. Okay. I'm taking the t1 to t2 f of t x of t dt. What is the range is given 0 to 2 pi. Okay. 0 to 2 pi. 0 to pi, the circle is like this. Here the 0 and the pi and the 2 pi. The range is given the 0 to 2 pi f of t x of t. And in the 0 to 2 pi, 0 to pi is a magnitude is 1. Positive side. So 1 into sine t dt. And the pi to 2 pi, the sine, the negative half cycle is given. So minus into sine t. Following, my dear students. So in this, I take the integral 0 to 2 pi, the given signal, what we have the given signal here, that given signal is 0 to pi is 1 and pi to 2 pi is a minus 1. Okay. So I substitute f of t is a 1 in the 0 to pi range and pi to 2 pi range is the minus 1. So what is the sine theta minus cos theta is the integral. What is the sine theta integral cos theta? Already minus is there, here is the minus. Okay. That is equal to integral sine theta minus cos theta 0 to pi minus, because this minus is here, and again the integral sine theta is a minus cos. The range is 0 to pi here, and here the range is 2 pi to 2 pi. Okay. And the energy signal here, x square of t, that x square of t is x of t, I am assuming the sine function, sine square of t. Sine square of t means according to the trigonometric function, 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Cos square means 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Okay, split these two parts and find out the value. Integral 1 by 2 is a constant. Integral 1 into dt minus 1 by 2 into cos 2t into dt. Okay, 1 with an integral is a t, 2 pi and the 0, and minus 1 by 2 cos 2 theta, nothing but the sine. Integral sine is minus cos theta, but cos theta is a sine theta. Sine theta, and again there is a t coefficient is there, you can write it in the denominator. The range is 0 to pi, not the 0 to pi here. Okay. 0 to pi and the minus value. Okay. We got the pi here and we got the 4. For numerator, where the value is a 4, and denominator of the simplifying these functions, upper limit and lower limit substituting, we get the pi. So what is f of t? 4 pi sine t. 4 pi sine t, and x of t is a sine t. Then we can take these two signals, x of t and x of t, and error given is E of t is equal to f of t minus c into x of t. This is an error we have. Okay. Next, orthogonal signal space. The next concept, that is a fourth concept I am saying. The first concept is orthogonality in vectors. Second is orthogonality in signals. Third one is orthogonality in complex signals. And fourth one is orthogonal signal space. What is only the difference is more than the two signals. Here x1 of t, x2 of t, another one is x3 of t. In previous section, we studied orthogonality signals. Let x1 of t, x2 of t, and x3 of t be orthogonal to each other. This means these three signals will be mutually perpendicular to each other. In the previous case, we take only the two. That is f of t and x of t. Both are perpendicular to each other. We can say it is orthogonal. But here, three signals we are taking, and these three signals are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then we can say orthogonal in signal space. That is, it forms a three-dimensional signal space. Such signal space is also called as orthogonal signal space. The signal space is used to represent any signal lying in that space. If there is any more than the signal also. If there is a n such mutually orthogonal signals, x1, x2, x3, and so on, xn also there. More than the two, we have, that is a three-dimensional, now it is an n-dimensional orthogonal signal space. If having the three signals are there, we can say that is a three-dimensional orthogonal signal space. Having n number of signals are there, we can call it as n-dimensional orthogonal signal space. Okay, my dear students. So more than the three, all it is a perpendicular to each other, then we can say orthogonal in signal space. Got it? Now coming to the another important one is signal approximation using orthogonal functions. Signal approximation in orthogonal functions. Okay. We know the formula of C is equal to, for the signals, C is equal to integral t1 to t2, t1 to t2. One signal is f of t, another signal is x of t, and we are applying the integral here, dt, and whole divided by another integral is there, that is an energy integral t1 to t2, t1 to t2, x square of t dt, x square of t dt. This is a signal. Orthogonality concept in signals. Now, in the signal approximation using orthogonal function, let us consider a set of signals which are mutually orthogonal over an interval of t1 and t2. That signals are c1 x1, c2 x2, c3 x3, and so on, cn xn. Means that value of c is becomes of cn, x is becomes of xn, xn square of t, the orthogonality of signal approximation signal. So f of t is equal to sum of n is equal to 1 to n, cn xn of t, cn xn of t. In the above equation, any two signals, either it is xm of t, xn of t, or orthogonal over an interval t1 to t2, m not equal to n, to that is a 0, m is equal to n, to that the energy signal, then that signals are orthogonal to each other. Any signal xn of t or xm of t. Okay. Take the proof. See here, the integral t1 to t2, xn of t and m of t and xn of t, xn of t and xm of t. Both are the same. You get the xn square of t dt, en, one of the energy signal. n equal to m, it becomes of x square of n of t dt. What it matters. Now, before going to prove this the signal approximation of orthogonality, we have again there is an error, signal E of t, f of t minus c into x of t. That is also we got from the right angle triangle. F of t, so c, I am taking the points as c x n of t dt, and it is a E of t. Okay, f of t is equal to cn xn of t plus E of t, or E of t is equal to f of t minus cn xn of t, and there is a sum of. So n is equal to 1 to n, or otherwise you can write as n is equal to, start from 1 comma 2 comma 3 and so on to up to an n values. You can remove this one and write simply the cn into xn. Okay. Now the energy, error energy signal E is equal to integral T1 to T2 E square of t dt. E square of t dt is the error energy signal. Substitute the E of t, is the E of t here. F of t minus sum of n is equal to 1 to n cn xn of t whole square t. To get this error as a minimum, you can apply derivative for error energy with respect to the c. Here the c is nothing but cn. With respect to the cn, and is equal to the 0. The error E will be minimized with respect to the c. So dou is nothing but partial differentiation. T is a differentiation. Dou E by dou Ci here they are taking. What is the Ci? Nothing but the Cn. If the variable is I there, we took that is a n. You see the n equal to the 0. So dou by dou C of integral T1 to T2 f of t minus sum of n is equal to 1 to n cn xn of t whole square dt is equal to 0. And expand this function a minus b whole square and write it as a 3 parts of the integral. The first part of the integral is f square of t dt. Second part is a minus 2ab minus 2 into cn f of t xn of t dt. And third part is b square cn square xn square of t and sum of each of. Whenever there is a n, xn and the cn, you can write as a sum. In the first term, as usual in the approximation, not the approximation, orthogonality signal concept, there is no any c with respect to here. First part is a 0. In the second part, there is a cn is there. Applying the derivative with respect to c, we have only the 2 into 1. This value is a 1. You see the minus 2 into integral t1 to t2 f of t x I of t or xn of t dt, and cn is becomes a 1. And the third part, cn square, that cn square is becomes of 2 into cn integral t1 to t2 xn square of t dt. That n is equal to I, they are saying n is equal to I simply. Okay, and equal to the 0. And here the minus is there, and here the plus, and equal to the 0. 2 to get cancelled. Finally, you get the cn is equal to numerator t1 to t2. What is the value here? F of t into xn of t dt whole divided by, and cn is multiplied with the energy signal t1 to t2 xn square of t dt, and they are assuming the n is equal to I. They wrote here the I and the IO, where n is equal to from 1, 2, 3 and so on up to the n. This is a formula for orthogonality of signal approximation and the cn xn f of. Okay. Finally, see here, Ci is equal to integral t1 to t2 f of t xi of t dt, and integral T1 to T2 xi square of dt, where I is a 1, 2, 3 and so on here. I wrote the n. They are here saying that is a I value. Okay. And denominator is energy signal EI. So CI is equal to 1 by EI into the numerator integral T1 to T2 f of t xi of t into dt, where I is equal to 1 to n. But the orthogonality in approximation. Approximation means I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2 and so on. I am moving towards the right side. Okay. And the last one is a mean square error. What is a mean square error formula? Here the denominator E is equal to error energy is equal to divided by the T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. So within the 4 minutes, I will close, my dear students. I will explain here the mean square error. Now let us consider the mean square error in the signal approximation using the orthogonality function. The error energy is given by the equation. This is error energy. E is equal to, okay, you see, this is error energy integral T1 to T2 f of t sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn xn of t whole square into dt. Same equation I used here in the mean square error. Expand this function integral T1 to T2 f square of t dt minus integral T1 to T2 sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn f of t xn of t dt plus integral T1 to T2 sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn square xn square of t dt. Okay. And the same is modified as I'm taking the Cn on the outside, 2 into Cn integral f of t and xn of t. And here also I bring that in the Cn square in the outside, integral T1 to T2 to xn square of t. In this, this part is equal to, this part is En, and this part is the denominator is there, that is Cn into En. Cn into En. Got it, Manish? Cn into En. So after replacing the values here, E is equal to integral T1 to T2 f square of t dt. The first term is the same. Second term, see the 2 into sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn, and this total function I replace is a Cn into En. Cn into En is the second term. And the last term, third term, already the Cn square is there. Sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn square, and this total expression I replace as En because it is energy signal, En value. Okay. And the first term you can see the same thing, only that T1 to T2 f square of t dt minus here the Cn and Cn becomes of Cn square En. Already the Cn square En is there in the third equation. Third term minus 2 plus 1. So finally you get the minus. So E is equal to integral T1 to T2 f square of t dt minus sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn square En. You can take this as E square of t bar is equal to total EE by T2 minus T1 is a mean square error. It's called as mean square error. So what is the expression we got? Integral T1 to T2 f square of t dt minus sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn square En. You can replace here. Okay. So this is the equation. E square, mean square error or error energy is related as E square of t whole bar is equal to E by T2 minus T1. 1 by T2 minus T1, and this total function we already derived is integral T1 to T2 f square of t dt minus sum of n is equal to 1 to n Cn square En. The above equation Cn square En is always positive. Hence, error energy EE can be reduced